What's up? What's up, Solar Warriors? What's up, Powur Hitters? Today is Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual solar pro, and you are entering Tuesday training. This week, super excited. We have an amazing training for all of you. We're going to be talking about closing some deals against the competition. So stay tuned for that. Mr. Jonathan Bernasso, Mr. Tommy Cotter, how are you gents doing today?
Good morning from the barbecue capital of the world, Kansas City.
Nice. Good morning from Southern California. We got back from a recent Mexico trip. Happy to be back and start crushing it before summer. Rock and roll.
Yes. So let's rock and roll into this. Quickly, before we do, just want to let everybody know tomorrow on the Virtual Solar Pro podcast, I will be interviewing the one and only Cynthia Alvidrez. So if you have any questions you want me to ask her on the podcast, drop them in the chat and I'll make sure to do so. All right. And then we'll have that recorded for you next week. With that being said, we are going to switch things up and kick into gear right away due to time constraints, because we got so much jam-packed information for you to help you close more deals. So let's flip it and reverse it. Tom, why don't you have a quote for us? We'll start with that. Then we'll jump into success stories. And while he's doing this quote, think about, we're going to be doing success stories about sales. So if you've closed a deal in the past week, we want to talk about where you got the lead, how you closed the deal, any adversity you had to overcome to get it. So with that said, take it away, Tom.
I was reading this quote online that says, overthinking is just as bad as underthinking, except people who do it think they're making progress while doing nothing. Say that again. Overthinking is just as bad as underthinking, except people who do it think they're making progress while doing nothing. Long story short, I was hanging out with the actor Ed Begley Jr. a while back and talking about making a difference in our lives and our business. And the sum of our conversation together was when he coached me to just do what was right in front of me. If you are a business person, a salesperson who struggles with overthinking or underthinking, maybe the advice for you today of just doing what's right in front of you will be helpful to get you into action.
Love that, man. And you know what that reminds me of is a saying is overanalysis causes paralysis, right? You're thinking about all these things you got to do. But rather than taking action on what's right in front of you, you're kind of stalled out. Take action. Like Nike says, just do it, right? Good one, Jonathan. So yeah, man, this is what it's all about. It's taking action. You could sit back and go in knowledge base and look up every article and stat on a panel. You're going to make $0 doing that, right? Go out there, generate electric bills. That is your job. Generate electric bills, do presentations. That equals closes and success. So thank you for that, Tom. Speaking of success, let's jump right into success stories. So if you have closed a deal, we want to know, where'd you get the lead? How long did it take for you to close? What was your follow-up like? And then why you won the sale. So go ahead and raise your hand, drop it in the chat. I have someone who's going to, oh, okay, right on. We got Cynthia, first at bat, leadoff hitter. What's up, Cynthia?
What's up? So we just closed a sale we had been following up with for over a year or a year and a half. And after he missed out on, actually he's LADWP, but after he missed out on his low interest rate and he saw things continuing to climb, we kept following up. I got that lead from Brent. So fiance, so it's one of his cousins. But yeah, we just stayed on top of them. And, you know, sometimes when people say no, it's not right now, but it always comes back later. And if you keep touching base and, you know, the wording was just, hey, are you going to let things continue to go up or are you going to go now? And finally he was like, dang, I'm so sick of missing the boat, you know, let's do it. So it took some time, but we got it.
Love that. Yeah, man. That's awesome. I love hearing the ones where it takes over a year because I'll be honest, I usually don't get those ones. Fortune's in the follow-up. And me being a high percentage closer, my follow-up game, it's weak. I'll be the first to admit it's not great, but when I do stick to the plan and I continue to follow up, that persistence pays off, and it definitely did for you. So great job, Cynthia. Love it. All right, Chance, you have your hand raised. Can you put your camera on? Are you available to do that for this?
Kinda. I have to go on
There
a
he
walk right
is.
now. New community.
What's
How's it
up,
going?
dude? Yeah. How you doing, Chance?
Good. I'm excited, man. So yeah, Jared and I closed one over the weekend. I actually, with my old roofing and solar job, I actually pitched this guy back in 2022 at a 2.99% interest loan. The numbers made sense. He just didn't like the total cost of the system, which was about 42 grand. So I was going back through, calling my list of homeowners that I used to have, and just trying to get them as ambassadors. And this guy signed up as an ambassador right away while I was on the phone with him, and then was interested in to see some of the other options that Powur had, because I didn't have a lease option before. And so literally I called him on Tuesday. I think we had the appointment, I think it was Friday, right, Jared?
Scheduled for Friday. Yep. We did Friday evening,
Yep.
late. We even hung around to get him onto it.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Had another follow-up that was supposed to be on Saturday, just to confirm everything, get him signed, which that turned into Sunday. And then Sunday we got him signed up, and instantly he was like, hey, could you do this for my parents? So now we're going to be setting up another appointment for his parents that live about 10 minutes down the road for hopefully later this week. So it's a good one.
Love it. Yeah, dude, Chance, that was a great one. Met with the gentleman. First of all, we came in about $10,000 less than what the quote was originally when you talked to him in 2022. So that right off the bat was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He loved that. Great presentation. He was willing to meet with us the next day. Just wanted to mull it over with his wife. That's fine. No problems. But when he said, hey, can we meet on Sunday? I felt really good about it. He did ask if there was anything else we could do. Right. And I said, you know what? We had a promo where a homeowner got a $500 rebate check at the end of the install. Like, if I was able to get that for you, would you be able to move forward? And, he was just seeing if he could get a little something. And he said, yeah. So, me and Chance are going to go ahead and take care of that for him. But yeah, we have another referral and another deal coming up this week with his parents. So great job, Chance.
Thank you, sir. And thank you.
You got it. You got it. All right, man. We got some solar studs in line. We will go Jordan, Jared, then Richard, and then on to the training. So Jordan, what's up, brother?
Hey, good morning. I got a couple here. So one of them was a sit and sign. I was working with a mentee, Giselle, and it was a friend of hers through just mutual connections. And we sat down, we were talking, they had just moved in, they're expecting a baby type of thing up in Apple Valley. And what's really, really amazing about this is she was willing to bring up the quote, and they sent the competitor quote, somebody else that just door knocked. And it was a competitor that starts with an F and ends with an M. And so they went ahead and they were pitching one Powerwall with 17 panels. And I came in there and I just took it out with 19 panels, 2 batteries, Franklin storage on that one. And they were pitching the loan. And the loan was $40 more expensive with 1 battery than the PPA option with 2 batteries. Needless to say, and a better system. Right. Exactly. So we got that one. That was a sit and sign. It was like they literally did it in their car, which was incredible. So they're doing the site survey soon. So props to Giselle to helping another family there. And then we've got, I started this about 90 days ago in December when I was out in Maui. One of our photographer friends who has done our family photography, all of that. She's said no to solar in the past because they didn't like the other company. Starts with an S, ends with a run, and went ahead and when there was just some stuff didn't line up properly, just between her husband being out of the state and all this other stuff. And then just this past yesterday, they finally signed their contract docs because there was a HECO thing coming down April 1st where they're moving one of their rate plans on Maui is moving from 13 cents on an export down to 6. So effectively an increase on NEM3 type protocol. And that was all they needed to get. They wanted rush to get the application in. I said, it's going to take us 90 days anyway with permitting between HECO and Maui and all of that. I said, we can get everything else done later, but we need to get this thing locked in. And it was just the kind of like the swift kick to do it. So I'm really, really excited about that one as well. So yeah.
Great job, you freaking solar stud. Jordan
you.
crushing it all over the country. Man, love it, love it. All right, let's move on. Jared, then Richard. What you got, Jared?
Yeah, I wanted to take a moment. So one of my part-time consultants had talked to their sister about 2.5 years ago. And they had also moved with a company that started with an S, ended with a run. And realized that fast forward 2 years later, that they sold them a very small system and they were still having almost a $4,000 true up with about 15,000 extra kilowatts per year being used. So when we sat down and she finally took the appointment with us, we were able to go to the house, sit down with the husband, sit down with the sister, and she came back. We did a whole new add-on system, 2 Franklin batteries, got them all taken care of. And she actually took a moment and apologized to her brother and said, I should have listened to you. And, and I didn't. And now I can see what the difference is when somebody actually takes the time out and explains and educates us on what we really should be doing. That's going to take care of them for now and into the future. So just wanted to share that win.
Nice.
Love that. Love that. Don't let a $500 Costco gift card get in the way of family. It's like the big name or whatever. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but man, you guys, these solar companies are selling undersized systems left and right because the price looks good. The number looks good. They're over promising, under delivering. And it's your job to be the hero and save them from a catastrophic construction, project. So great job, brother. Richard, we're going to wrap up with you. What's up, homie? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, so I finally closed 2 of my deals last week. Been working on him for like 3 weeks since I started, so like 3 weeks now. Finally gave me his bill. Finally got him through. He got to see the savings he was going to be saving. And then now I get to sit with his sister tomorrow. So that's going to be about like my 5th, 6th deal already. And I just started with Powur. It's been a month today, actually. So like my 4th or 5th deal already. So I'm ready.
Well
That's
done,
what's
Richie.
up, bro. Welcome to the team, man. And just real quick, I don't think you're new to solar. Where are you coming from?
I've been doing solar. I was installing solar for about 12 years before I hopped over to sales.
Really? So
Yeah.
you've been installing for 12 years, saw the money with sales, saw the power opportunity, hopped on over, and now you're crushing 5-6 in your first 30?
Yep.
My
Loving it.
man, dude, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
love it.
keep the fire going, brother. Man, I
Yeah.
hope to see you here every Tuesday sharing those success stories. We love to hear them, man. So great job, dude, and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
You got it. You got it. All right. Well, hey, thank you everybody for
Jared.
sharing success stories. Love it.
Jared,
Oh, damn, Bill got muted. Yeah,
no,
sorry,
no,
hold
no,
on.
no, no. I
We
gotta
gotta
just
move
say
on.
that I know you do, but he just had his launch party. Richie did, and he's got 2 new consultants signed from his launch party on Sunday.
Crushing it. Yeah, don't forget about Bobby's launch parties. Take advantage of that. Great job, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, and hey, I hate to cut you short. We just have so much to get into today, so we really don't want to cheat you guys out of the information. But thank you, everybody. All right, Jonathan, what do we have
Beautiful.
cooking?
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Jared. All the success stories, keep them coming. Type them in the chat. And yeah, take advantage of Bobby Smith's business launch. If you're new to solar, new to power, if you want to do a relaunch, if you want to invite your database, your network, your sphere, your prior colleagues, coworkers, employees, whatever it looks like, get with your leadership And Jonathan Budd is even going to do a special training for the launches that get the most recruits out of those launches. So I've got 1 or 2 lined up with some of my exciting people as well. Future trainings, real quick, few quick updates, then we'll get to this amazing panel training today. As always, Power Hour last night, I hosted that 5 p.m. Pacific to invite guests into. That was great. We interviewed 2 awesome gentlemen, Mike Spring, Mike Craner. Next week, you can look forward to getting trained on this Tuesday, training by the Women of Power. They're going to be talking about networking, referrals, BNI team, and how they crush business and networking, and a lot more trainings to come. Compensation plan training is on the books. Home improvement contract, line by line trainings on the books, and a whole bunch of other trainings here. Much more on Power Calendar, and make sure to read your newsletter. In case you missed it, the big waiving the $99 startup fee when someone joins Power as a seller has been waived to the end of March. This is something Jonathan Budd's passionate about. The team and recruits and sellers have been really increasing the last month and a half. So guys, now's the time to invite them and leverage this promotion, drive a sense of urgency to try out Power and see why we're kicking so much butt. There'll be a few of us in Utah at SolarCon. So if you go to attendsolarcon.com, there is a discount on the website. And if you want an additional discount, promo code Jonathan, we'll have some teammates there in Utah at SolarCon April 18th through 20th. Definitely get your tickets for Power World Orlando, Florida. They are on discount right now. The general admission and the dinner gala awards is only $279, guys. So like, it's super, super cheap. I don't know when the price is going to go up, but I look forward to seeing you in Florida. And lastly, April 3rd masterclass is huge, huge. Like Jonathan Budd, Bobby Smith, and Charles are telling everyone, this is literally like a mini virtual power convention. So April 3rd, it's a Wednesday. You got weeks to plan, book the calendar. There's going to be so many announcements on product, on lenders, on enhancements on power.com. I kind of know a few of them, but you don't want to miss that one. It's going to be huge. And if you have new teammates, you want them on there to see how freaking amazing we are. And here you can see the layout of Power Days and Solar Saturdays, a whole bunch of different trainings coming. All right, with that said, we are going to be spotlighting a few of the leaders on today's call. And the training today is how not to lose to the competition. This topic was brought forward during our leadership mastermind a few weeks ago. And it was basically to understand and study the competition. And according to ChatGPT, it's crucial for a nationwide solar sales team for several reasons. Conducting trainings like this, studying and understanding competition, you can equip yourself with the knowledge and skills needed to navigate the competitive landscape. Let's be honest. In solar today, people are shopping 2 to 3 times more than they used to. Type it in the chat if you agree. If you're seeing people get competitive quotes, whatever markets you're in, maybe put the markets you're in, it's happening. So we need to drive sales, achieve success, and study the competition for a few different reasons. Now, just to continue to lay a little more groundwork, market differentiation, knowing the competitors in different markets, right? Obviously, Sunrun, SunPower, Freedom, in Vegas, though, SolUp is one of the competitors, and they always start their price at $2,829 a watt. And so you need to know these things. Being able to strategically position yourself, their weaknesses, their strengths, know how to diversify yourself, getting customer insights, pain points, maybe their reviews online like Tesla are the worst in the industry, and having a competitive advantage and anticipating challenges that come up so you can be proactive in your approach during your discovery, during your homeowner presentation. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some of the speakers we're going to hear from is Jordan Shaw, Owen Carey, Jarrett McAllister, myself, and Cynthia Elvidrez. And guys, let's keep this interactive. type it in the chat, be part of it. We want to hear and read what you're talking about. Tom Cotter's AI robot will be responding to you live today, and Tom will be participating as well. So let us know in the chat as we get started here what competitors you're seeing in which market. You know, are you coming up against Solar Optimum or Sunrun a lot? Are you coming up against a local market guy that's really cheap? So let us know, type some of those companies into the chat. And we're going to talk about how they're positioning themselves, what products they're offering, how to differentiate ourselves, possibly lowest price or superior technology when it comes to seeing competitor approach, and how to leverage Powur, Inc. 5000 nationwide company. So let's see if we can highlight or pin some of the panelists. I'm going to throw this question out there first, because I think the next two slides will help set us up for what you guys have to share. How to find out and ask if your client is shopping. There is an art to this. You have to be respectful. You have to use some of Jeremy Lee Miner's sales techniques and open-ended questions. And this is important. So I'm going to toss the ball off to some of our panelists. How do you straight up ask, and when do you ask? Is it a discovery call, presentation, and how do you dance the line of asking if they're willing to send it or share it with you? So if some of you want to share, take a minute or two to answer that.
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Great.
One of the best ways to do this is I just simply ask, so where are you at in your solar journey? And just let them answer. Like, did you get some quotes? You know, have you looked at solar in the past? They'll quickly let you know kind of where they're at, because it's just an open question for them to be able to ask and answer, rather. And it's not direct, like, are you getting competitive bids? It's like, just where are you at? Like, have you looked at it prior? Am I the first one? Am I the last stop? Like those types of things that you can just quickly ask, and they'll let you know pretty fast as well. I find that's been probably the easiest way to ask that question.
That's great. Where are you at in your solar journey? And do you do that on a discovery call, or do you do that maybe on the Zoom homeowner presentation?
Just on the presentation. Yeah, because I do a lot of my discovery happens through just my intake and just communication with the homeowner. And then when I'm doing the presentation, I assume that that's the only time I'm going to have with them, right? Like that 45 minutes to an hour. So a lot of my extra discovery is done on that call with just ad hoc. And then so I ask it right there. It's usually what I traditionally will do.
Cynthia, Owen?
Yeah, in the beginning, do a discover call prior to consultation. Everything is in the consultation. So in the beginning, I ask a lot of questions, and normally a few of those questions are, know about solar already. And sometimes if they say things like, oh, I've been looking into it, that will prompt them usually to say like, oh, I've been looking into it. I've been doing some research. Oh, great. I'm glad you've been doing some research. Tell me a little bit about what you know and what you like so far and what you're not liking. And they'll give me, you know, some pros and cons that they have in their mind. And then I usually fish and ask if they've met with anyone yet or plan to. And it's just really direct, honestly. At that point, it's just like, oh, you know, have you met with anyone yet? Or do you plan to meet with anyone else? If I feel and sense that, I will not ask that question unless they have already given me hints that they've met with someone. Does that make sense? Because you don't want to put it in their head to meet with someone if they're not planning to. But if they say stuff like, yeah, I know about it. I know what's available now. I know you have to get batteries in California. So that already is giving me hints. Okay, you've been talking to someone. So at that point, I just am direct. And then I go through my consultation. At the very end, I'm going to say, hey, I know that you are looking at different competitors. So this is when, you know, it can be hard to compare apples to apples. So no pressure, but I would love to do, I always tell them I specialize in contract comparisons. So I would love to do a free contract comparison for you and just show you the pros and cons of each. And if they're offering you a better deal, I will let you know. That's it.
I love that. Specialize in contract comparison.
Absolutely. Get them back on the follow-up. And just to piggyback off of what Jordan and Cynthia said, same thing, asking them right in the beginning, how far along are you in your solar journey? They'll tell you whether they're shopping or they're going to shop, or they say, oh, you're the first person I've talked to, right? But if they've said that, no, we've been talking to other companies, a follow-up, I said, okay, so you've gotten some other quotes. What's prevented you from moving forward with those other quotes? Or with these other companies? What is it that you were looking for that they haven't offered you? Because there, you're like, oh, well, I'm looking for a better price, or they didn't have this product. Those are different things. Or they're, oh, just getting quotes. So to ask them, because man, if you've done if you talk to her like, yeah, I've talked about 6 different solar companies. So you've talked to 6 different solar companies and not one of them gave you something to where you're like, I want to move forward. Well, what exactly is it that you're looking for? So kind of getting more specific with it, but I just wanted to add that.
I usually joke when they say they've gotten 6 quotes. I'm like, wow, you're ready to sell solar now too. I like to ask a lot of the questions, especially with batteries. I'm doing batteries without backup and backup. So I'll ask them, are you dealing with a lot of power outages? And if it's their first time, like I call it the tip of the iceberg. Are we at the tip of the iceberg? Are you looking for, is this your first go at it? My shift on the presentation is going to be really educational and then get them to trust me and show my knowledge. And then I can easily close them at that point, opposed to giving them the opportunity to go shop. Usually if they got 6 quotes, I'm kind of like, okay, well,
no, you're good.
same question. What's the holdup here? What are we looking for? I even ask about the financials. Are you looking for cash, loan, or lease? Are these things you've looked into yet? Because if they're only getting loan offers and you come in with a lease, you're going to have an edge over the competition. So these are all kinds of things you can focus on the discovery.
Yeah, if somebody's gotten 6 quotes like that, it's like my favorite thing to ask them is like, wow, you're either an expert or royally confused at this point.
Yeah.
When I try to guide them too when it comes to comparing, because one thing that I tell them is just, as we're having a casual conversation is just letting them know, hey, most people, when they're comparing, they make the mistake of looking at price versus price only. But since you're going to be doing your research and comparing, let me teach you some things that you should be looking at, right? Quality of panels. You should be looking at the difference in warranty. You should be looking at company stability. All things that I know I'm going to excel in when they compare. And so as I'm going through my consultation, the reason you want to ask in the beginning is as you go through your consultation, if you know they're shopping, you can say, hey, this is why company stability is so important, right? Power is here when it comes to company stability. And a lot of people, when they're comparing companies, don't look at this. They don't look at, how strong that company is and if they're even going to be around to serve their warranty.
100%. I'm gonna keep it moving here, but I can't agree more. The homeowner presentation, just to tie into that, guys, what she said is so valuable because you can really hit on those points, and we're going to touch on more of this in today's training. But the presentation you should unequivocally do every time, in person or on Zoom, and you can cover why now, what research have you done, where are you at in your solar journey, and then you can get into why me, why Powur, and hit on those points. We all have our common sayings that we have, like, yes, you could go with Solar Max, they're local, they could go out of business. LA Solar could go out of business. Chuck and Larry in a truck. Like, I've been in solar 10 years. I like to work with the biggest nationwide companies because they'll be there to take care of the customer. So homeowner presentation and discovery call, we could do a training on just in that section, but it's extremely important to really flesh out how you can win over a competitor. All right, so I think some of you already typed into the chat, what competitors, which markets are you seeing out there? SunPower, Tesla, Freedom, lease, PPA, installers, Tesla, local market, like Vegas is SolUp is one of them that are out there, Solar Optimum. So there are a few out there, but we got a big one here, and Owen Carey is going to take the ball and talk about SunPower.
Yes. I always make sure I didn't misspell the power on SunPower, but I've been seeing a lot of them as of late. Definitely a interesting company right now. You can see their share price is $2.84. To give you a little background, I did get a degree in business. I was really good at strategy and looking at people's books. And if I looked at their books, I'm shocked they're still in business. If you look at their cash flow, it's outrageous. This is just stock, but the reason that they're losing a lot of stock influence is they're writing a lot of debt right now and they have no cash. So any of us who have rent or have a mortgage payment, you can't really pay your rent or mortgage without cash. You still need to have cash to be a functioning business, as we're seeing. They also have always been this vertically integrated company. We have the best solar panels. Well, Maxion and SunPower, Maxion is the maker of that solar panel. They had a partnership. They're kind of looking like they're in ends right now, about to split. So that's some of the factors here. If you want to go to the next slide, or can I do it? Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is a quote I got from one of my competitors. It looks like it didn't turn out the best. The first part, though, is that the SunVault battery is a in-house product, is being discontinued. So this is a quote I got right here, the SunVault 13. So you're buying a battery that is not... people discontinue, like Enphase discontinued the 10T, but they still have the 5P. They're still going to make batteries. SunPower has pretty much said, we're not making batteries anymore. We're not going to have our own solar panels anymore. They are shifting to become more of a lease or PTO or TPO company, which is an interesting game to play when you're a publicly traded company and they're trying to do it really fast, which is very suspicious. They have here a 2.9 system here at 147. I don't think they disclosed to this client that it's a 2.9 escalator. I'll be honest with this guy. I spoke to him about NIM2. Didn't really like him. So I kind of fired him. But if you guys are new, please fight and get with what you want. But you're going to find a lot of SunPower PPAs in California right now. We go to the next slide here. Kind of my last rundown. They always scream to be this vertically integrated business. So even with the Maxion doing a white label partnership, and then even having Enphase microinverters and calling them their own, it's all just a white label system there. So we have the SunVault battery being discontinued. And also, if you were a SunPower dealer or installer, you used to say it with a lot of pride, and you had exclusivity to really nice products, including that Maxion solar panel. That's all gone away. So there's installers, I know Chris Collier is in here too. We're seeing that across the board in California, that these installers that put SunPower on the side of their trucks, and now SunPower is opening the floodgates for everybody to use them, they're pretty annoyed. And they're worried about their business for sure. So where they're going is to be more like a Sunrun or a Sonova, where they offer PPAs. I would say that's a weird business model when you have really low cash flow, you're in debt, and now you're literally putting solar on somebody's roof where you pay for it, and you're not going to see a return on that investment for 5 to 6 years. So I think they're pretty desperate to get market share, and that's where we're seeing very competitive prices. I would say this is the kind of things you want to focus on when you're going against a SunPower quote is you can go with SunPower, but do you think they're going to stay in business? Because I do not.
Great info, Owen. I even have a friend there who they're slightly delaying some commissions on the reps just because of their cash flow probably challenges. And yeah, it just seems like they're trying to go really low on leases and push leases. And so I often tell my clients, some of these reps are getting paid more commission to push leases. I don't mind which direction you go, cash, loan, or lease. I'm going to show you the options and let you make the educated decision. And so I say those things proactively a lot right now.
Right.
All right.
I'd say they're in if you think about a core competency of a company, your core was to be this vertically integrated company, and now you're completely doing a 180 And that's never a good sign in business. Never, ever.
Right.
I'll just mention too, for those of you who are selling in, let's say, Central Valley, California, very warm summers, or any place that is warm. If you're competing against a SunPower quote and a Maxion panel, the REC panel is going to perform better in warmer months, warmer climates than a Maxion panel. It's going to have less hit on production as temperature climbs. If you'd like to learn more about that, check out the recording from Florida Market Development Meeting this week, which Gabe Davis from REC joined and talked about REC panels.
Yeah, the spec sheets in knowledge base, guys, you could look up REC spec sheet, their heat coefficient. They perform the best under high heat. And if you're ever in a situation talking about technology, nothing beats REC, period. The energy production warranty, the 92% in year 25, there is no higher percentage in the solar panel industry. All right, let me touch on Tesla. And in general, guys, Tesla kind of represents the low price leader, right? So I just went on their website, and you can literally, go to Tesla Solar, or look up reviews rather, but you can go price it. So I just priced out here on the right a 14 kilowatt. It's very pesky to remove batteries. So they kind of force batteries, and some of the customers think that they force batteries. So it's kind of hard to remove the battery. But I was able to remove the battery, and here's a Las Vegas 14 kilowatt solar system. And they are coming in at 2.6 a watt. Now, who knows what kind of mediocre panels that is, what kind of string inverter that is. It's definitely not Enphase or Solar Edge, I can tell you that. And so 2.6 a watt on a 14 kilowatt system, it's okay. I mean, honestly, we can sell around 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 if we want to. So 2.6 a watt, they sometimes force batteries. All you have to do is Google Tesla solar reviews, and you'll see 2.4, 500 reviews, 2 to 3 stars, 800 reviews. Yelp, 300 reviews, 1.5 stars. You thought we had bad Yelp reviews. Every major nationwide company is worse than us, guys. So you can look up the reviews. You can even look up an article that says Tesla Solar has closed down many major markets across the entire United States. Their solar roofs are basically non-existent. That business doesn't really exist anymore. They canceled tons of orders. There's a lot of bad reviews out there. There's a lot of horror stories. I literally have pictures where they're installing mounts on underlayment or shingles that's falling apart. They just don't care. And I've had clients tell me it's taken months and months and months of O&M reviews. So this is Tesla. We often can't get that, we can get close to the price, but we can't beat the price. Where we win is value, equipment, technology, sustainability, the reviews, them leaving markets as well. So anyone want to add on Tesla solar panels? If not, we'll move into the one that starts with S and ends with run that a lot of you were saying. I have 2 slides on this, and I'm sure my friends have some things to add. If you're seeing Sunrun proposals or quotes in the chat, put it in the chat. Let us know what markets you're seeing it from, because in California, I'm seeing a lot right now. A lot of door knockers are pushing Sunrun. I used to work there, so I let them know. I used to work at Sunrun Costco, and they have the highest price in the industry, especially those employees that are corporate that work in Sunrun Costco. Their corporate employees are paid more commissions to push leases and PPAs right now. They literally have the highest cash prices because Sunrun doesn't want them to sell cash. And then, guys, they start at 26 to 28 cents with their lease PPA in California with battery, with an escalator. And I tell my clients, likely they're giving you these prices they're being forced to push this on you. I'm going to give you all the options. Let's talk about your goals. And then I often say I can start around 20, 22 cents with an escalator, or I can get you fixed lease storage, no escalator, no annual increase, around 26, 27 cents. And I crush their proposals. I crush their competition. I just closed one the other day, huge system, like 13 kilowatt, 2 batteries, MPU. It was a referral from my CPA, my tax advisor, and they decided that they wanted the no escalator option, which the other company didn't even show them. And so that's been a differentiator for some of us right now, is that we're saying, hey, we have an escalator, or we can do a fixed, and we can do way better equipment. I can do RECs or Franklin batteries or whatever it is. And I lean into Sonova. I know we also have Everbright. I also love Sonova because they do blackout protection with a really good price. And so that's what I'm seeing in Sunrun. And I'll do one more thing here. If you ask your homeowner if they're willing to share the proposal, you're the contract review expert, you can see what quality panels they're giving them, like JA Solar is likely a China brand panel. The inverter, $197 a month lease. This was on my buddy's house, who purchased his panels from me years ago at Sunrun. And now here Sunrun is, some rep that got his HIS license a few months ago. I looked him up. And he's offering a lease at a high price with mediocre stuff on a guy that purchased his system years ago. So that's a little bit about Sunrun. Please be aware that, companies like Freedom Forever or Titan or others, they are Sunrun dealers. So they can sell Sunrun lease PPA products. Then you have a small division of Sunrun, Sunrun Corporate. Those are the guys that can do purchase or lease. Those are the guys that are working in some of the Costcos. So they do have a blended model, as we've been talking about as well. Anything to add on Sunrun quotes that people are seeing out there today?
I'll add something here. I come across Sunrun the most. I really try not to just sit there and harp on the negatives of other companies, but when I'm wording it, I word it like, because that's what other salespeople are going to do to us, right? Like when they come in the home, they're just going to say, oh, power this, power that. But instead I word it like, hey, this is why I chose Powur for my clients, right? I used to work for Sunrun. I used to work for Tesla. I chose Powur because we can offer you a better warranty, better equip. I can offer my customers better warranty, better equipment at better pricing than I could offer my clients at Sunrun. So when you speak in that of a service mindset, it just resonates a little different with homeowners because it shows them that you chose Powur first for certain reasons. The 30-year warranty, you guys, is huge. Like most companies are doing 10 years to protect their roof. Tesla offers 10 years. Sunrun, at one point was offering 10 years for a long time. Now they do 25 years, but still it's only 25 years, right? Where we have 30 years. So the warranty, in my mind, is one of our hugest competitive advantages. So I really, really lean on that a lot. That's all I have for this.
I want to
great.
bring something up that Cynthia said earlier that ties into the coaching that she just gave us. So Cynthia said earlier that when she is first talking to a homeowner and doing discovery, she's asking questions to find out what is important to that homeowner. Now that we're in the proposal, what Cynthia is doing is not speaking to every benefit of Powur so much as telling her story about why she chose to work with Powur as it relates to what was important to that homeowner, about what company, equipment, warranty that they want for their home. So in that discovery on the front end, asking lots of questions and making physical or mental notes to yourself, and then speaking to that through the presentation. And especially right now, this is crucial right here, when she's telling her story, she's telling it through the lens of what's important to the homeowner. Great coaching there.
Can't agree more. Don't bash them. Be a professional, share your story, and weave in what the homeowner told you. We have to be a consultant now more than ever and share value and education. All righty, who can we move to for these Semper Solaris slides?
Holler. All right, I think I just fixed that other slide really quick. And thanks, Jordan.
You're welcome.
All right. So a little quick background about this project. This was a referral from a realtor partner. I hadn't even talked to this guy for over a year, but I got a random phone call, said, hey, my realtor told me to give you a call, could help me out with solar. Absolutely. How far along are you on your journey, right? Asking the good questions. One of the other major questions that I asked her was about an EV. This is a huge part of your discovery call, you guys, is asking them, do you have an EV? If not, do you plan on getting one in the next 12 to 24 months? Because if they're getting an EV 5 years from now, I'm not building them a system for a 5-year, possibly down the future. But if it's in the next 12, 24 months, absolutely. We're going to get them, we're going to build the system for that. So with that being said, I got all their data, collected it, factored in how many miles, would you like an EV charger? And I built it all out. And she wanted to pay cash. Now, I no longer accept cash. We don't do cash. We do 10.49% interest. You get in 25-year, it's as close to cash as you get, and you can pay it off day one. There's no prepayment penalty, but we don't do cash. So I went ahead, built her out this beautiful system. And she wants to do her due diligence, get another quote. Well, this is the quote that she got back. It was Semper Solaris. First of all, it was an undersized system. It was an 8.97. They were using, first, this is all me. When it says panel down at the bottom, it says HKU6 all black. And I was like, explaining to her, I was like, I've never even heard of these panels. They're Canadian solar, but I didn't know the tagline. So I'm telling her, I've never heard of these panels. The other thing is they're using a Tesla inverter, right? Tesla string inverter with those panels, 8.97. Her price came in, this is their cash price, was $29,950. Next slide, please. When compared, so she had said that over to me. I said, I like Cynthia. Hey, I really specialize in, contract review. I really want to compare apples to apples. There's like 5, 6 different moving parts on an agreement. I want to make sure you're getting what you're getting the right thing. Compare apple to apples. They agreed. So she had sent that quote over to me after I presented her the bigger system. When I adjusted my system down to match, we're talking 8.91, so same system size, but now we're using Q-Cell 405 black on blacks, American made, right? Shows there, a plant in Georgia, N-phase microinverter technology. And I explained to her the benefits of N-phase microinverters. This also has a PowerCare 30-year full coverage bumper to bumper warranty with 0 deductible on parts, panels, inverters, roof penetration, workmanship, and an EV charger for that EV that she is getting in the next 6 months. When I did my cash deal, as you can see my price, and this was actually specific. I came in actually a few bucks higher because I don't want to be the cheapest price, right? I do not want to say I'm cheaper. I was a few bucks more. But the quality of what she's getting, I literally beat them in panels, inverters, warranty, EV charger, the quality of our company. And it came in like a few $100 more. And also she doesn't have to pay a penny out of pocket. She doesn't have to make progress payments across the project down at the end. It's 0 out of pocket. She could pay out the whole thing. But did I end up selling her this? No, I showed her what a apples to apples comparison was. Next slide. I ended up educating her and showing her that last system was only 74% offset of what her utility bill needs are, and that she's going to end up with a fat bill at the end of the year. like, it could be a couple grand at the end of the year. So I was like, are you really saving money? I said, this system is a one and done. It's going to provide all your needs, take care of your pool. Also, take care of those 15,000 miles that you're driving on your EV charger. The net cost was only like $5 grand more. I said, you're going to make that up in the first few years of your bill at the end of the year, your true up. She ended up going with this one, 0 out of pocket. It was a grand slam, no brainer. And that was actually last night. So,
wow. Awesome, Jarrett. Interesting take on the cash and the 1049 as well. No prepayment. That's a cool idea. And you get some loan rebate on that as well.
Oh, and by the way, can I just tell you guys what the margin was? I actually meant to highlight this on that last one, on the 8.97. They're trying to sell smaller deals just to get it. The margin was still $8,700 on this, you guys.
Wow.
Plus a finance rebate on there. That's massive. These guys are trying to come in. You're still crushing competition after an ambassador referral. I'm still pulling like 4.5, 5. So that is great. And the reason why I'm doing the no cash thing, Jonathan, is because recently I've had a couple homeowners hold that final payment hostage towards the end of the project until every little nook and cranny. I mean, it's just down to a T. And so I no longer play that game.
Yeah. More updates and hopefully some new technology to come on that. I've been having that challenge as well. You have to email billing and lien management to get that taken care of. But you're right. Those cash collections can be a little bit of a pest. So good idea there, Jarrett. Appreciate it. We're going to move to Jordan Shaw to cover some competitive knowledge on this slide. Jordan.
Yeah, so this is actually within the last week. This was a curveball the client kind of threw us because we were talking a much larger system, 19 panels. We're removing an existing system. I'm trying to calculate for his existing system removal while giving him a buffer. But what's up in the air was whether he's really going to need that extra buffer with obviously higher quality panels. He's coming to the end of a 20-year lease with Solar City at the time, now Tesla, right? And so we're in that conversation phase for, this has been like months, like just conversation back and forth. We know he probably needs to repaper, all this other stuff. And out of left field, because of the CPUC consumer protection guide, he goes ahead and he actually starts to get other competitive quotes. That's how that actually started. And we were the only ones in town at that point. And so this system started a lot larger with 19 panels, a Franklin battery. He got a 200 amp upgrade already. Like he's already set on that, but I figured we needed extra battery storage and he could expand it. He liked that aspect, but he throws this and he doesn't really tell us who it is, but I'm assuming it's somebody from Energy Sage or something, some other type of like just somebody down the street. I'm not sure, but if you look at the equipment on this, they're using the Panasonic 400 panels. They're using a Sunny Boy string inverter as well. So one of the reasons, and the price per watt on this thing was so incredibly low. It's literally before the storage, I think it was like $227, something like that. Anyway, $25,711, $25,711 with backup with a Panasonic battery that's associated with this. This is insane, you guys. And I'm like, and we're coming in non-backup at 26. So he basically asks us to downstep it to about 14, 15 panels just because he knows he has to do his roofing. So it's blown his budget out. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But I told the rep that we were working with, I said to him, I said, I'm not playing this game on the cost. I said, we'll switch it from Q cells to Canadian Solar because obviously he doesn't care about that. He cares about pricing and everything else. But before I literally strategically waited a day or two to analyze this proposal. And he came back saying, I'm really not comfortable with the other competitor. I asked them questions. They're delayed in getting back to me. Our communication tree for the last, and just the timeline that we've had with this guy is built a rapport and a comfort that I sent him 2 proposals, said, yep, I get it. We like to do a concierge approach with it. Some guys just come out there, it's like, who knows what's going to happen with this competitor, right? And you look at it and it's the level of saying, hey, they're using a string inverter. Like, so I didn't even touch the fact that we're using a battery backup Panasonic battery. Okay. I touched base on the string inverter component. I said, one of the reasons that they're slightly less expensive is a string inverter. Yes, that is cheaper, but it comes with a cost. And I explained to him why that was the case. And so I sent him competitive with both backup and non-backup. And I strategically, to Jared's point, was the fact that I was actually about $1,000 more expensive than they're all in right here in non-backup. And then we're at 32 with backup. And I sent them both of those. I said, I'm going to lean into Powur Care for the 30-year. And I'm going to lean into the fact that we're using just really awesome hardware. And we've already built a rapport. Cost is not going to ultimately come into this. And he came back and says, I think I'm going to do the non-backup option. I'm going to go ahead and get everything, double check with the wife, make sure we're good to go. And he says, and then I'll be signing on with you guys. I'm like, that's how you do it. We're $6,000 more, no, $7,000 more expensive, technically. But who knows if that's the real price from this competitor. Look at that all-in cost, $25K with backup. That's what you're not seeing with the ESS costs. It's a whole different slide. And they're claiming they're going to do a backup with that on a 10 kilowatt hour battery. So we started with non-backup, switched it from Franklin to Solar Edge, did the non-backup, and then added the backup. Because then in my mind, I said, all right, clearly he doesn't care about hardware. He cares about bottom dollar price, but I don't want to necessarily be bottom dollar because we're never going to hit that. And the rep came back to me and says, man, that was like saving grace, the fact that he comes back and he goes, I'm more comfortable with you. I said, exactly. I said, these guys are, who knows if they're going to be in business. I mean, that's what you got to point out on a bid like this. So
awesome. A lot of great points there. Communication, fast responses, concierge service, pointing out some of the equipment technology, likely not a nationwide company, not a 30-year inclusive warranty. Yeah, a lot of great points there. All right, so I got a few closing thoughts here, and then maybe we can do some Q&A for those that want to stick around and continue a little bit on this topic. So obviously, when it comes to why Powur, you've heard a lot already, but we are truly a sustainable nationwide platform in a industry where half the companies are going bankrupt, to be honest. Let's be honest about it. I often share the Inc. 5000 4 years in a row article just to really show the power of our company. And, we've heard it today, best in class equipment and warranty, from batteries to panels and our 30-year warranty. I even say we have hundreds of employees domestically located. We have a live chat, live phone, live email. Sometimes I'll even open up the live chat and someone will hop right on within a minute saying, how can I help you? And I'll say, that's the level of customer service I'm going to give you domestically located. Myself and Powur will be here to help you 5 to 10 years down the road. Like Cynthia said, this is my story. This is why I work with the best nationwide sustainable companies with better equipment, better value, better pricing, better options, better warranties. And that 30-year Powur Care LLC warranty is really clutch. And I'll put it in the chat again. I include the PDF with all of my proposals. And it is a separate Powur Care LLC warranty. They set aside funds and hold funds to honor the warranties. And the unique thing is like a local company can go out of business, but Powur can hire the best company to go fix your system, or even the best repair third-party company to go fix your system. We take care of you. I'll help take care of you. I even say a lot of clients in my area that their companies went out of business, reach out to me, Mr. Homeowner. So you're in good hands. I'm going to be in solar for the next 10, 15 years. Any closing thoughts from the panelists? Let's give it up for Jarrett, Tom, Owen, Cynthia, guys, just for sharing some value on this topic today. Obviously, they're some of the highest income earners, some of the best tier 3 mentors. They know their niche markets and local areas in extreme intimate detail. And sometimes that's what it takes to win a deal over. Closing thoughts from you guys. Anything?
Yeah, closing thoughts. I think someone on here, I think Tom mentioned, that he says, this is what I would do on my own house. And I tend to use that wording without even knowing that I'm using it, is just, I do treat each customer like they're a family member. Like, this is what I would do for my auntie or, or my mom. And so when they sense that energy, they're going to be more open to listening. One thing that I wanted to touch on too, while Jordan was talking about equipment, was a lot of times I will open up the equipment options and I'll show them, hey, one reason I really like Powur is because we have all of these equipment options. We have all of these finance options. I can really customize it to you and what would work best for your home versus other companies where they're forced to choose one or two because that's all the options they have. So at Powur, we have all these options. That really goes a long way with clients. They usually are like, wow, that's awesome. That's good to know. When I talked to the other company, they didn't show me options. It was just one. So just wanted to mention that as a closing thought. And that's all I have, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. You guys, we got some great panelists on here sharing absolute golden nugs with you. And this closing deals is an art form. It's something that takes years and years to master. If you're new in this industry, work with a good mentor, someone that can show you the ropes, explain the differences between these panels, not always come in at the absolute cheapest, right? Know how to set up a proper follow-up call, right? To be able to close the deal then. I'm so proud to work with all of you guys because you guys are all absolute studs and studettes when it comes to the solar game. And yeah, just work with good mentors, find somebody that's going to show you guys the ropes. We could talk hours and hours and hours on sales and strategies and, how to earn the business and why us versus competition, but we will save all that for another training, maybe next week.
All right. Well, that kind of wraps it up. We'll move to some Q&A office hours for the next 10, 15 minutes, if we can stick around, but a lot of nuggets dropped today. Some of the lines that I love. This is what I would do if it were my house. I'm a side-by-side contract specialist. I can review it and see what they're giving you, what offers or what equipment. And obviously, where are you at in your solar journey? Open-ended question to get them to let you know if they've done research and start to navigate the competitive landscape. And again, in closing, the competitive landscape is more important than ever. If you're going to crush it for the next 6 years, you have to become the knowledgeable consultant that is familiar with the competition in your area and be able to speak to these things. And if you need to work with some of the tier 3 mentors that are crushing it in your market, it's worth the money to set yourself up for success. It's such an amazing thing that we have here, including knowledge base, market spotlights, market development meetings. My goodness, you could go into knowledge base right now and go find trainings on every single state that have already been doing this in our market development meetings. So I appreciate you guys a lot. Jarrett, Tom, Owen, Cynthia. Obviously, if you want a great tier 3 mentor, these are some of the best of the best. And we can go ahead and end this recording and hang out for a little bit of questions.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. You can also follow me on the socials, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. All those links will be listed below. Now, if you're looking to get started on the path to selling solar virtually, look no further than Powur. Powur is a decentralized solar platform that gives you the ability to sell 100% virtually in 25 plus states and growing. Their platform gives you the advantage to offer your clients a variety of different panels, inverters, roofs, batteries, and even EV chargers. Brands include Enphase, SolarEdge, Tesla, Franklin, and Span Smart Panels. Powur offers multiple zero-down financing options, including loans, PPAs, and leases. And with their revolutionary cost of goods sold model, 5 different streams of income, and world-class training, there is nothing else like it in the solar industry. If you're looking to get started, go to powur.com. That's powur.com/virtual solar pro/join and start selling solar virtually today.